The Battle of the Crimson Gate. It was a scorching Arizona afternoon, the kind where the sun bakes the earth until it cracks. I was behind the wheel of my trusty old tractor, hauling a load of fresh-cut timber through the gate I'd just painted a blazing crimson. The color was bold, a defiant splash against the dusty beige of my Prescott ranch. To me, it was just a gate. But to Evelyn Harper, the president of the Sunset Valley HOA, it was a personal insult. She stormed onto my property like a general declaring war, her voice shrill as she waved a crumpled document. "This gate violates community standards," she shrieked, her face as red as the paint she despised. I barely had time to kill the engine before she did something unthinkable. She planted herself right in front of my moving tractor. I slammed the brakes, the front wheel stopping inches from her polished loafers. Her eyes bulged, and she screamed, "Repaint that gate, or I'll sue you for attempted murder." My dog, Rusty, bounded out, barking like a madman, and that's when the chaos began. But before I dive into how this spiraled into a war that shook our quiet town, let me take you back to where it all started, because this wasn't just about a gate. It was about power, pride, and a woman who'd stop at nothing to control everything. My name's Tom Bennett, a 52-year-old retired paramedic living on a 20-acre ranch just outside Prescott. I bought the place 2 years ago with an inheritance from my late uncle, chasing a dream of peace and quiet far from city noise. My land wasn't part of any HOA. I'd triple-checked the deeds, title records, even got a nod from my realtor. So, you can imagine my surprise when Evelyn showed up one morning, clipboard in hand, measuring my fence like she owned the place. "This is 3.2 inches too high," she snapped, not bothering with a hello. I introduced myself, kept it polite, but told her my property wasn't under her HOA's thumb. Her eyes narrowed, and she left without a word. That's when the trouble started. First came the letter's cheap paper, no return address, claiming I'd violated rules I'd never signed up for. Then the knocks at dawn, HOA lackeys with clipboards, even a kid with a drone buzzing my land. My niece, Lily, a 23-year-old with a knack for social media, lived with me after college didn't pan out. She filmed everything, from Rusty chasing lizards to the HOA's antics. My neighbor, Mike, a former paramedic buddy, had his own HOA horror stories. And then there was Mrs. Clara, an 80-year-old widow who'd lived here since the 50s. Evelyn doesn't like no. Clara warned me one day, tossing feed to her chickens. "She'll come for you." I laughed it off until a notice appeared taped to my gate. Color violation. Repaint immediately. It listed approved colors boring grays and beiges. So, naturally, I bought the brightest crimson paint I could find and redid the gate. Lily filmed it, added dramatic music, and posted it online. The video exploded, racking up thousands of views. 3 days later, Evelyn marched up with 2 HOA board members, Harold and Diane. "This is vandalism," she barked. I sipped my coffee and said, "This is my land." She threatened lawyers, so I hand-delivered a copy of my deed to her doorstep. That's when things turned ugly. My mailbox vanished. My trash cans were dumped across the driveway. Lily's car got egged. Someone tried to unlatch the gate to let Rusty out, but my new security camera caught a blurry figure short, stocky, maybe Evelyn. Lily was rattled, but I told her it'd blow over. Then came the final notice for an inspection. Mike, chewing a toothpick, warned, "They're poking a bear." I wasn't worried me deed was ironclad, but part of me wondered if they could actually sue over a painted gate. Lily posted my deed online, along with boundary maps, and I repainted the gate for good measure. That Friday, Evelyn and her crew arrived. She charged toward the gate, screaming about defiance, and stood in front of my tractor as I hauled wood. I braked just in time, dust flying, heart pounding. "Murder!" she yelled, dialing 911. Rusty went wild, and Lily filmed it all. Sheriff Dan rolled up, a no-nonsense vet who could smell a lie a mile away. He watched Lily's video, which showed Evelyn stepping into the tractor's path. "Ma'am," he said, "you're trespassing. This land isn't HOA property." He showed her my deed, and she stormed off, purple-faced, with Harold and Diane trailing behind. Dan warned me Evelyn wouldn't quit. He was right. A week later, I found my gates swinging open, latch undone, with fresh tire tracks leading to my barn. The camera footage was wiped. Mike started sleeping over, shotgun ready. Then Evelyn showed up, calm as a snake, with a peach pie and an apology. I lied about being allergic to peaches, and her mask slipped. You embarrassed me, she hissed. This isn't over. Before leaving, she said, you're not the only one who can move heavy machinery. The next morning, I woke to crashing metal. My crimson gate was gone, reduced to splinters, and a bulldozer sat idling in my pasture. Lily filmed the wreckage, and Mike's jaw dropped. The bulldozer was rented by Evelyn, paid for with HOA funds. I called Dan, who traced the rental and promised to dig deeper. Lily's new video, Our HOA Nightmare, went viral, exposing Evelyn's vendetta. Then Mrs. Clara handed me a box of old HOA records, including a 2001 boundary map proving my land was exempt. Armed with this, I sued the HOA for property destruction, trespassing, and misuse of funds. That night, my power went out, wires cut clean. Mike grinned, holding bolt cutters. Time to visit the HOA office. We drove to their headquarters, a tacky building with plastic columns. Evelyn's car was parked outside. Inside, we found chaos, files strewn, drawers open, and Harold slumped by the copier, beaten badly. He groaned. She hired someone to wipe everything. The files revealed Evelyn's plan to frame me, devalue my land, and force a sale. As we gathered evidence, headlights flashed outside. 3 men in dark clothes approached, one with a walkie-talkie. We fled through the back, barely escaping. Dan secured the files and placed Harold under protection. Lily's next video, HOA Gone Mad, included clips of the bulldozer, Harold's injuries, and Dan's statement. It hit millions of views, and locals shared their own HOA horror stories. At an emergency HOA meeting, I confronted Evelyn with the evidence. Lily live-streamed as Evelyn collapsed under pressure. Diane, trembling, revealed a safe in Evelyn's house with proof of fraud. We raided it, finding fake complaints, offshore accounts, and a plan to seize my land for a Phoenix developer. The FBI took over, uncovering a syndicate using the HOA as a front. Evelyn was arrested in Utah, hiding with cash and fake IDs. She pled guilty to fraud, property destruction, and conspiracy. The HOA was dissolved, and new laws protected homeowners. The town rallied to rebuild my gate, bigger and crimson, with a sign, Freeland, not for sale. Lily's documentary, The Crimson War, won awards, and our park was renamed Bennett Square. Months later, I saw Evelyn at the hardware store, a shadow of her former self. I lost everything, she said quietly. You humiliated me. I replied, you tried to burn my barn. She nodded, admitting she'd chased control to feel important. I watched Lily's documentary, she added. It's a good story. Then she drove off, never to return. The ranch is peaceful now. Mike's tending his garden, Lily's filming, and I sleep soundly. The Crimson Gate stands, faded but proud, a symbol of standing firm. This wasn't just about paint, it was about fighting for what's right, exposing corruption, and proving one man's truth can change a town. What do you think about this story? Have you faced injustice or bullying in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments, especially on how far you'd go to stand your ground against violence or unfairness. Let's hear your perspective.